Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Christian Capitalist Podcast. I'm Rich Sanders, your host, and we're so glad to be joined by Jess Baldwin today. And as you can see, we have this beautiful artwork behind us of Arizona. We're in Phoenix, Arizona today, talking about all things Christian capitalist. As you know, you can find out more about our movement on our website, christiancapitalist.life, and all the different social media channels, as well as like, share, tag, follow, and all the things when it comes to our movement, if you are enjoying this podcast. So we're so glad to be joined today by Jess Baldwin, the Director of Strategic Sales and Outreach for GoodWorks Mission, publishing company that brought you the Christian Capitalist, as well as You're a Child of God, and soon Tools of the Bible.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Jess.
Excited about that. Good morning.
We're in sunny Arizona today.
Yep.
Goodness, this is the third week of March, and we had record heat here, 107 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
There's not much room to go for summer.
No, not much room to go for summer. It's actually kind of frightening for us Arizonians right now, being at 107 in February and March, but it being... Luckily, we have pools and AC at the end of the day.
Exactly. Well, I'm so glad to get a chance to see you today. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So, Jess, tell us a little bit. We're sitting here in we're in Mesa, Arizona. We're here for spring training.
Mm-hmm.
Our son Will plays for the Chicago Cubs in the minor league organization. We're literally at Wrigleyville West today and going to see him pitch tonight in the prospect game.
So excited.
How did you get to Arizona?
So I got to Arizona actually through family and work. Family decided to, when I graduated college, pick up and move and sell our house. Oh. And it actually happened the day after I graduated college.
Wow.
So having that mindset of graduating college, lots of changes going on, I had to figure out what I wanted to do next. And so it was either Texas or Arizona, and ended up getting two amazing job opportunities and was able to choose Arizona at the end of the day and built my entire career out here.
No kidding. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All right. And so you went to University of Nevada, Reno.
Yes. Go Wolfpack.
Right. The Wolfpack. And in that process, it sounds like you fell in love with the desert.
Yes.
And the mountains.
The Mount West. I did fall in love with it. I grew up in Bay Area, California, Silicon Valley, kind of concrete jungle, was able to go off into the Central Valley or the coast very easily, but definitely going up and being in the mountains in Reno, Nevada just brought me so much happiness at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's cool. And so now it's 2026 and you're here working in beautiful Arizona.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that path. What was your kind of corporate progression to get to this really important role with GoodWorks Mission?
Absolutely. So one thing that drives me is obviously giving back and helping someone. Understanding the tech community. I studied international business marketing. So in college, I actually was able to really understand just different markets, understand what's going to appeal to people, how to sell, and also the intrinsic rewards that you get from buying something or getting something that's going to be useful. So going into the tech community, the solutions are there to help you, but and having a salesperson that's also going to be there to help you. Mm-hmm. And so I've always wanted to go into sales. I grew up in Silicon Valley watching my mom do recruiting and sales with all these big tech companies growing up, cybersecurity, and found just a true passion for it. And that's what drove me since 7 years old.
Okay. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And so now with when you and I first met at spring training a year ago, you were with a much larger company.
Yes.
In a sales role.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about, you're obviously in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
A lot of the folks who listen to this podcast and hear this message are fixing to graduate from college or have just graduated.
Yes.
What's that like in your first career, a first position in your career, your first job? I was just talking with a woman today who, here at the hotel, saying, now that I'm salaried, I really feel like I'm working a lot longer hours and a lot harder.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your first job out of college and what impact that may have had on your faith.
Yeah, I think that it's a huge transition point. Going and graduating from college and then also just being independent and an adult at the end of the day, it's huge transition, and you have to have be mentally sound, honestly, strong, have that faith that's guiding you. So when you do feel like I can't continue on, I can't grow, I can't reach that goal that I have at the end of the day, God has a plan. And that's the truth of it all. And if you allow him to guide you on your life day in and day out with work, personal life, however it may be for you, you're going to be able to be driven by faith. And it's going to help you just truly succeed in life. And yes, there are hard moments that I did inhabit through that transition. I mean, I picked up and moved from Reno, Nevada, left California for the rest of my life probably.
Yeah.
I did a huge transition, moved to Arizona with 0 friends. No one I knew. That was my age frame. All I knew was my parents and my parents' friends, and ended up creating a whole world and social life. But there's so many dynamics that I was transitioning in. But what I really honed in on is like, well, I'm good at work. I have a passion for this. It's driving me to success. So might as well continue that on. And even with the hiccups that go down the road, think in a dynamic aspect of, all right, how can I pivot? How can I think strategically and also faith driven that's going to benefit people, but also benefit you in the long run as well?
When you're starting out and you're in a company that's challenging,
yes,
how does that impact you as a person?
Well, it bleeds into your personal life. When you're working probably over the 9 hours, 8 hours a day in a company and they're expecting you to work more or achieve more and they give you all these tasks, you're working like 15, 14-hour days. And so your life becomes work. And that's the issue that needs to change, is that our life, we work to live, not live to work.
Amen.
Yes. I mean, it's really true. And understanding that at a younger age is like, I didn't realize that until I will say a year ago. Like a year ago, it really, I was working 14-hour days. I was not happy in my personal life. I was like, all I do is work. I don't have a social life. Like I'm not able to do what makes me intrinsically happy, spending time with my family, going on trips, anything like that. And so really learning and changing that dynamic in your head of I'm working to live, not living to work. Mm-hmm. And that's like a key mindset that I think all young businessmen and women need to have in their mind is like, yes, this is a job, but money will always come. God has a plan and you will be able to find success in any route that you take.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Especially when you go to work with the mentality of, I'm here to serve God.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. That's one of the core concepts of the Christian capitalist is we glorify God with our work.
Yeah, we do. I literally like in my wins and my lows, like I thank God for it because at the end of the day, if I'm in like a moment of irritation or change or a little bit of turmoil because companies change all the time, new rules, new quotas, especially in sales, it gets a little heated in your brain at the end of the day. Yeah. Having faith drive you, understanding that there is a greater plan in life. Truly, I keep repeating that over and over. God has a plan. God has a plan, but it's really true. And like I listen to people, life coaches, and whenever I was in true like turmoil with work, they're like, God has a plan. Don't wrestle, don't ruminate in your brain about what is going on, because at the end of the day, God will provide for you and be able to give you those wins, those successes, those goals. Maybe it's not in the time frame that you were wishing for, because trust me, I'm impatient and I'm goal driven. I've been goal driven since I was a young little girl.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's being able to know and trust God. And it's really the trust that you have within your faith. And maybe you're not going to church every single day because you are too busy with work.
Right.
And you're exhausted on Sundays, but it's okay. Sit there, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of your day to pray, talk to him, and he will provide. And you will feel him fill your body. In frustrating times, in any time, you're just going to be able to sit there and say, thank you.
I love that, Jess. Yeah. You hear that, type A workaholics? It's okay. You don't have to worry about not being able to go to church. God's there with you at work.
Absolutely.
Jess, a friend of ours who's got 2 kids that are teenagers, is so faithful. She's had a really difficult year, really difficult time. A move out of her home as a result of a job change with her husband, but never lost her faith. And one of the things is you're talking about God having a plan and having that trust that he will take care of you.
Yeah.
She has kind of literally expressed in art on her body. She has a tattoo of a sparrow on her foot. Because when Jesus is in the Sermon on the Mount saying, let not your heart be troubled, do not fear, look at the sparrows, look at the birds of the air. If God takes care of them, how much more will he then take care of you?
Exactly.
Isn't that wonderful?
Absolutely.
But it's tough sometimes when you're getting beaten up at work. We have here in the Christian Capitalist, it's a, scientists would say it's a self-selecting pool.
Yes.
We have a number of people who come to us and say, I feel like my workplace is hostile to me as a Christian.
Absolutely.
It's tough to remember God's with you in those moments.
It is.
Have you experienced that?
Absolutely. I think that for a while now, faith was actually looked down on within corporate America. If you're a faith-driven person and you speak about it, they weren't as warm or somewhat even judged you for being faith-driven. And I do see the tides turning as the world is turning as well. People are scared right now. At the end of the day, the world, the economy, the world, and it's like a tilted axis. Right now we're on the downslope and people are scared. So being able to really, truly, no matter what anybody says at the end of the day, how you continue to have faith in you. Because Jesus had haters.
Yeah. And he told us we would be persecuted for believing him.
Yes. And we are, because at the end of the day, people will always judge you for being religious because it's maybe not something that they believe, or they have their own relationship with God, and they're going through a hard time and they're lost a little bit right now. But at the end of the day, really just being able to listen to what they have to say, hear what they have to say, understand, and still hold true to your values. We don't have to pivot just because somebody doesn't agree with you at the end of the day. It's called conversation and being able to continue to still be faith-driven and love God and know that he is providing for you at the end of the day.
I love that. One of our guests on the podcast last year, Ron Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Universe 21 times.
Yep.
Just an awesome, awesome guy. He gets invited to speak in front of large corporate groups all the time. And I said, well, Ron, do you ever, people ever ask you to kind of dial down the Jesus? And Ron said, you know what? If they don't want to hear about Jesus, then they don't want to hear from me.
Exactly.
Isn't that wonderful? You don't have to be retired Mr. Universe to think like that.
No.
You could be a mid-20s corporate executive and think like that.
Exactly. And that is just the truth. At the end of the day, religious is up to anybody. It's up to how you want to have the relationship with God. I'm a Catholic. Catholics have very hard rules. We're looked upon, we're judged on at the end of the day because of the rules. But the biggest thing about that is God and Jesus forgives. We can mess up. We might not follow every rule of the Bible. That's okay. Because God is going to be right there by your side and lift you up and forgive you, because at the end of the day, he knows you're trying. We are humans here on earth. We're not up in heaven yet. We're not perfect yet. But one day we will be, hopefully.
Right. And when it feels like things are not going your way and you realize God has a plan, things can just materialize out of nowhere.
It is insane. I will say a year ago.
I was going to say, tell everybody about how we met at spring training.
Yes, a year ago today, I would never think that I'm sitting right here, a director of strategic sales and outreach, and also just by meeting somebody at a game through their son, and me being friends with a girlfriend. I would never have thought that I would get a phone call a couple months later and be like, hey, we want to take you out of where you're at and let's build this. And that was one thing that I took a moment of time and I was like, you know what? I want to go independent. I want to strive. I want to build my own career and see really what's capable of myself. And as a 20-something-year-old at the time, it was a scary time. The world was changing. It was actually an election year. And I was making great money. And it was truly betting on yourself. And what I felt in my gut, which is what I truly trust the most, because I feel like that's God or my angels speaking to me at the end of the day, is that this is what the right moment was supposed to be. Moving to the Christian Capitalist, helping build and creating the new generation of businessmen and women who are faith-driven at the end of the day.
I love that. But is it fair to say, because it is a cliche in our society, is it fair to say money can't buy you happiness?
Money can't buy you happiness.
I've heard that somewhere.
I've heard that thousands of times, and I've actually thought to myself, well, I'll say this, to take a backtrack on this. I started my job as an SDR, my career as an SDR.
What does that mean for folks who are not in sales?
Sales development representative. So really the bottom toll of corporate sales. So you're really funneling, cold calling. It's mentally taxing at the end of the day. You're hearing no or cussed out half the time because no one wants to cold call anymore. So being able to create that mental strength as well and having God drive you. And then I found a lot of success in that company. I was able to be a culture committee for it. I was able to see true happiness, not only from the meetings that I was booking and actually helping the company grow because it was a startup, but also seeing the entire office that I worked in. I was the first of 7 employees and was up to 50 by the time I left. And
Wow.
I trained and mentored most of the individuals that were working there at the time. And that's what truly intrinsically rewarded me because I love helping people. After Dialpad, moving on to the next company, I left because it was an opportunity to grow, to change. And yes, I felt uncomfortable at the end of the day, but growth and change, we're supposed to revel in it. We're supposed to live in it so we can grow as individuals. But money did not buy me happiness there. I was getting paid much more. I was traveling. I was getting taken care of, but I was working those 14, 15-hour days. I was expected more in my day-to-day life and not supposed to do anything personal. And that was the mentally taxing point. So when you then reached out to me and you gave me the opportunity, it did feel like God's calling because I was like, I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to be a part of that company anymore because it didn't hold my values that I was working for and my goals that I wanted to do. And then once that happened, my gut, and I felt like God was speaking to me that I needed to take that step out and be uncomfortable and live in the uncomfortable for a while.
Yeah.
And then be able to really see growth and change in my life. And I say a year ago, if I did not do that, my life would not be where I am today.
Oh. And hopefully that's a much better place.
Oh, much better place. I have the quality of life back. I get to work for an amazing company that truly feeds me at the end of the day. I get to help new generations and mentor and be able to provide actually just comfort to these new generations of businessmen and women that are coming out of college and young adults that are kind of felt exactly how I felt at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And being able to be a voice for our generation is something that I love to be a part of, and I love to just be able to benefit everybody.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit then about these new generations.
Yes.
What's going on in the college campuses?
College campuses, I mean, I think a lot of college kids, we see the economy. I mean, they've gone through a lot of different transitions in this world. I mean, we had COVID. They are high school graduates of COVID. You have the election era. You have the economy not being as strong. I mean, I would say like the Gen Z and the younger generations are probably a little frightened when it comes to the working community because they're paying thousands of dollars to get a degree. And being able to get out of college to get the job is fearful.
Yeah.
And they are competing against many, many different individuals who could be out of college for years and still fighting for that same position that they are. So what it is at the end of the day, it is a turmoil environment. It's rough. It's hard. You're batting against the who's that all have the degrees and all have the amazing experience that all of us have paid for. Now, with that being said, though, if you are a faith-driven, goal-oriented, and passionate about the career you're going to go into, that's where you're going to find true success. That's where you're going to stand out against each and every other candidate in that interview poll because passion is lost. It's lost in this world. People wake up every day, get ready, go to their 9 to 5, and just go and do the job. That's fine. Collect the paycheck, go do the job, but that's not making you happy.
It's not fulfilling.
It's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it's harder said than done to find a true fulfilling job, truly passionate job that you love at the end of the day. But every time that I talk to my friends and my friends that are graduating college, my friends that graduated with me, the working environment's hard and they don't like their jobs. They are unhappy and they call me and they ask me, what do I do? Where do I go? I want to do this, but I don't like it. And I said, well, do you want to stay in the field? Do you want to change completely different industries, like your job at the end of the day? And they always just give me those basic answers of, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I like what I do. Maybe it's the company. Maybe it's this. No. It's that you don't have passion for what you're doing. Yeah. And so one thing and the advice that I give to all new generations, young adults that are in the business world fighting for a job is to truly have passion for what you're doing. Me, I've known since I was 7 years old. I lived in Silicon Valley, watched my mom work her butt off in corporate sales and recruiting. And HR environment, recruiting, not the safest job position ever in corporate America. It's normally the first to go. But I always saw her have a love and passion because she was helping people. She was giving people jobs, fulfilling their dreams at the end of the day. And even though hiccups, layoffs happen, all that stuff, she still got the next job, went in with passion and drive. And that's one thing that I saw within myself is like, that's what I need to adopt. That's what I need to have. And then with that, having faith guide you, having him lead you and pull you, because you're going to feel when it's right and when it's not right. And it's always about trusting your gut at the end of the day.
Isn't that something? Jess, I just love your passion as you're talking about this. So we, in addition to having the college campuses and young professionals, we also have authors who are writing books. What do you, as part of the, I guess the C-suite at GoodWorks Mission? What do you say to authors who are wondering, okay, is it time for me to write a book? Is it time for me to express my faith in the written word? And what's that process like when you're trying to help people not only figure out whether they want to write a book, but how to sell that book? Tell us a little bit about that, because it's an old school profession in a very new school environment.
Yes, I think that you have to adapt to the times. We're in the 21st century. Social media is amazing to be able to get the name out there, to get the value, the brand of what that book is going to be. And my advice to everybody that does want to write a book, that does want to put out their words of being faith-driven or having a faith-driven book whatsoever, is have that passion, sit down, take time for yourself, and love yourself to be able to take that time away and really revel in your love for what you want to speak about. I think about sometimes writing a book about, I don't even know, business at the end of the day, the mindset of business. And it's like, I'm no psychologist, but my thoughts are different because it's actually life experiences and how I've had to navigate. Maybe it wouldn't be for everybody at the end of the day, but it's truly something I'm passionate about. And so it goes hand in hand with your work, because your work is your writing at the end of the day. And so having a passion, having a true belief, standing by your opinions and your faith at the end of the day, and knowing that you will get backlash. You will hear negative things. You will, because everybody has an opinion. And then for the marketing side and selling that, you navigate your book based off of who you exactly, your target market. Now, if you want to expand it like we did with the Christian Capitalist to a community-based, yes, it's a book and we are selling that. Don't forget to buy it. But amazing book. It'll change your mindset forever. I will say that. But we created a community out of it now. We're building the college clubs. We have the young adult business clubs that we're building out. We're creating a community base where Christian capitalists, faith-driven people, even if you're not Christian, I'm Catholic. We are all businessmen and women. Doesn't matter if you're in corporate America or if you're a nurse or you're working at Safeway. You are hired by somebody, you are managed by someone, and it's not about how you act with your customers. It's how you act with as a C-suite to the lower level, how you manage, how you lead, how you understand that people are going through stuff in their independent life. And so I think I went on a tangent there.
No, I got you.
But I think at the end of the day, it's truly knowing the value that you want to provide to people. Sit down, write that book. Love it.
So I love that. So for potential authors, maybe a way to summarize that is think about what you want to say and think about who you want to say it to.
Exactly.
Because I have a feeling there are a whole bunch of people out there listening to this right now saying, I've always wanted to write a book, but I have no idea how to get started. And what do you think? Is GoodWorks Mission a way to help people who are in that position?
I think GoodWorks Mission is a prime example of if you want to just get started within the community of book selling, writing books, we are the place for you because we don't judge. We only read. We want to help. We want to be able to grow these new authors, get their words out there and be able to provide for them at the end of the day. And I think that kind of goes with God's words of help thy neighbor.
Right.
And I think helping thy neighbor, I think the world's hard in general. I mean, I've said that enough today, but like the world is hard. Everybody's going through their own personal life. People are sick. People are losing jobs. The world's expensive. Having someone be able to go to GoodWorks Mission and really help fulfill their dreams is something that we stand for and that we will do for every author that comes to us.
I love that. Exactly. Yeah. It's funny because as an author, I talk to a lot of authors.
Yeah.
And so many people, just last month, I was talking to a young woman who's just finished her book, and she was like, now I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Do I start printing out manuscripts and sending them off to get told no, or do I download it onto a publisher's website and then never hear back?
Yeah.
Because the publishing world is a very difficult one too.
Yeah, it is. And I will say, like, just like what you just mentioned, like sending off the manuscripts and saying no, I can relate that specifically to corporate America and the sales development departments. We call hundreds of calls a day, 150, and you might get one meeting, you might get two, you might get none that day, and you're hearing no, and you're being cussed out because no one wants that cold call anymore. But what you continue to do is no. God has the plan, and you're going to get that meeting. You're going to hit that goal. You are going to have people want to buy that book, and understand that that is valuable at the end of the day. Maybe it's not valuable to those specific individuals you're sending the manuscript to. That's okay. We don't want to be a part of that then. We want someone that's going to understand the value of the book and be able to love it, sell it, and learn from it at the end of the day.
Right on, and get it to the people who need to hear that message.
Exactly.
Speaking of people hearing messages, you and I have talked a lot about where the church is these days, and that's church with the big C.
Yeah, big C.
The big C, because you're Catholic, as you mentioned, and Catholics, like a lot of other Christians, are deciding here in the middle of the decade that going to a specific point in time, a church, at a specific day, Sunday, at a specific time, 8:30, 10 o'clock, whatever, is just not what they want to do.
Yeah.
Rebecca and I went to your neighborhood in Fountain Hills last Sunday, went to a terrific church called Trinity Lutheran, where they're welcoming new members. The place was packed, and I was stunned because churches typically just don't get packed anymore. They're declining membership, and they're closing down. But you have seen a different trend in your generation. Tell us about that.
It's amazing. I think through social media, I think with the mention earlier about how the world's turmoil and the aspect economy, business, work, all of that. I think in how I said the generation could be a little frightful of what's going on in the world and unsure of our future of raising our families at the end of the day, because that is the goal. We want to buy property. We want to raise a family, just like the good old days of America. And I think that faith-drivenness within our generation, it's amazing to see. You watch it on social media all the time, like individuals going and praying that are my age. They're dedicating, frat boys are going to Catholic church and mass and being able to sit there. There's more Catholics in my generation that are doing Lent right now. I mean, it's nice to see that restaurants are catering to it again and being able to know that on Fridays there's fish being served and not having to starve myself.
It's so funny you say that. I was joking with somebody the other day after you and I talked last weekend that it's pretty common these days, especially with folks in your generation, for folks to observe Lent. But then when you get busy, sometimes you forget. You're in the middle of a roast beef sandwich. You go, it's Friday.
And I'll say this, last Friday, I had a leftover taco bowl that had carne asada in it. And I was like, I'm in the middle of my work day and I'm like, I'm going to go warm up lunch. And I go warm it up. I put my cheese on it. I get my chips, my salsas. I'm enjoying myself, right? I take 2 bites. I go, oh no! And I go, Jesus, forgive me, please. I'm sorry. And in Catholicism, we repent for our sins. And so I took those 2 bites. I valued the beef that I ate, and I never ate meat the rest of the day. And at the end of the day, it's the best part is God forgives, and if He can go. As long as he did with no food, no water, no resources, whatever he had to survive. I mean, I can go one day on throughout the week without meat. Is it mentally taxing sometimes? Absolutely. Because like yesterday, I was craving my Italian leftover sandwich, and all I wanted was turkey and some prosciutto and all of that. But it couldn't happen, so that's lunch today.
I was just going to say, it sounds like lunch today. Awesome. That's so funny. But listen, if you have already kind of consoled yourself, but the whole point of Lent is just to remember the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. Sounds like you took 2 bites of your meat bowl and were like, okay, I can't do this because I'm remembering the sacrifice that he made for me.
And it's truly like when you do go to mass and you rehear the story of Jesus and the sacrifice that he did for us, it is truly remarkable as I think older. I didn't understand the true value of Lent when I was younger. Like, yeah, we were told the story. Yeah, we know exactly what Jesus did for us in the sacrifice, but it didn't hold true value until we lived, and I'm an adult now. And I understand the turmoil of the world, the paychecks having to come in, living paycheck to paycheck, paying the bills, taking care of your family, when health things arise, being able to support. But not only that, is just being able to know, like, Jesus did that for us. Like, I can go, like, we are so wealthy, honestly, in our world. Like, everybody is wealthy. We have food. We have amazing opportunities in this world. God provides for us. And being able to just take 40 days before Easter to give up something. I gave up French fries. I love my French fries.
Oh, good for you.
I've never realized how many times I think about French fries in my life. Like, these past 4 weeks, I've literally just thought about French fries. And like, I work in a restaurant sometimes, and they're right there, and it's easy to grab. Yeah. And it's truly a mental battle, which I would have never thought French fries would be.
Right.
But it is, because it's a treat for me. It's something that I enjoy, but I never valued it as much as I did. Yes, it's a little thing at the end of the day, but it actually brings me happiness.
Exactly. And it is a daily reminder.
It's a daily reminder.
I did not give up something this year. I took on something. Trying to eat a salad every day.
Oh, amazing.
Which this probably stuns you, but I don't eat a salad every day normally.
Really?
So that is turned into a big deal, though, because at dinner time I'll be like, oh man,
a salad.
I gotta get a salad. I gotta remember to do that discipline.
It's a discipline. It's like when you're going on a diet. Like last year for the New Year's, I gave up. I actually didn't give up anything. I did carnivore diet, and my goal was for 2025 was focusing on my health. Mental health, physical health.
It's great.
And being able to just change the dynamics, change my daily flow, being able to understand, like, hey, I'm going to fall back into those traits. I'm going to mess up. But it's about how the strength that you have, the willpower, the work ethic that you have to continue those goals. And also, again, God's going to provide.
Exactly.
And it's crazy
That's
how, like, I think back at even like talking right now is like, I think back on this past year, and I'm like, so many things that I've had goals, worked for, loved, and never thought I would reach them. I never thought that I was going to be able to go to Europe for a month.
Right.
Never thought that. But right. I came on to you guys. You were like, absolutely, go live. You went to Europe too.
Right.
And we lived our best lives and got to see so many cool experiences that I never thought that I would be able to go across the pond and be able to see. And all thanks to the Christian capitalists and the work-life balance that we were able to have.
You got to have the balance.
Yeah.
So speaking of work ethic, let's talk a little bit about that. When we talk with folks about bringing their faith into the workplace, you're wearing a beautiful cross necklace.
Yes.
One of the people we're going to see later today, Avery Ratzla, and I met at her place where she was working as a waitress because she was wearing a cross necklace. Mm-hmm. What to you is a good way for folks to express their faith at work?
Yeah.
Given the Christian capitalist mindset.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that there's two folds to that. I think that you can do it within your work ethic. So just how I do it within, like, I find a passion for helping people. I think at the end of the day, that's God, my thing that God gave me intrinsically was like, you're here to help people. You're here to put a smile on people's face. Doesn't matter what the day is or however you can provide for them. That's what your mission here on earth is. That's how I feel. So I think within your work is embodying that kind of, and being able to provide. If you are providing something to customers, like don't screw them over. Don't just rake up the price just to rake up the price. Understand that we're all battling right now. We're all surviving. We are brother and sister at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Like I joke around with, I bartend sometimes and work in the restaurant, and I have an Italian guy come in all the time, and we just kept talking. We ended up talking about faith. And because he saw my cross, I wear my cross every single day. I got it at the Vatican. It's something that's very special to me. It's blessed by the Pope there.
Wow.
And it's something that I don't leave home with. I feel lost without it, but I genuinely get a lot of comments on it. A lot of comments. And it's not bad comments. It just opens up conversation about faith. And people are shocked. I'll say this. I went on Ash Wednesday and I had to bartend that night. I walked in with my ashes on my forehead, and you would think I had people that loved it, seeing my generation, being part of it, proudly bartending and standing there and being a vision of faith for the younger generation. And some people were making comments about it. So there's two folds at the end of the day, but it's all about explaining yourself, being strong within your faith, and being proud of your faith. If you're proud of it, then that is exactly what God wants, and that's what you need.
And people, in my experience, people can sense that.
Yes.
Even if, so for example, many guys do not wear cross necklaces.
Yes.
Many do, but
they either tuck it away though most of the time. Yeah.
Right. I think that when you shine the light of Christ in your heart, that people can see it.
I think so too.
And the way that they see it is through your actions, right? That servant leadership, that kind of mentality of loving.
Yeah.
And so is that because you mentioned there's two ways, right? The first is
work ethic, bringing it in to know that you want to help people, or you want not provide somebody I'm going to get a get back. Like we don't want to do get backs. We want to help people at the end of the day. We want to be able to provide something that's valuable to them. Right. That's what the whole world is about, is being actually a valuable soul here on earth and being able to provide.
I love that. Be somebody.
Be somebody. Don't stand in the crowd and just be part of the crowd. Be something different. Be something to be proud about. When you lay your head down and you might not wake up that next morning, you could be proud of yourself internally. It's really all about, yes, you want God to be proud of you. You want your family, you want your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever, your wife, whoever it may be. But truly, if you're not proud of yourself, if you're not prideful of your faith, of who you are, then what are you doing?
It's so funny. You reminded me, Paul told us and the people in the ancient church, if you're going to boast in Jesus.
Yes.
Right? Boast of the good news.
Of the good news. Of what faith, and thank God when you do get the good news, when you do get the positive things in life. Like the littlest things that when you're driving on the road, sorry to cut you off on that one, but when you're driving on the road and you almost get in a car accident, you don't cuss the person out that almost hit you.
Right.
You thank God that he saved you, that he's protecting you.
Right.
Instead of being angry and hasteful.
Well, it's funny you say that. Yesterday, sorry, I had a little spider. Arizona insect on me. Yesterday, Rebecca and I were down in Tucson and stopped off at a gas station before we got onto I-10. A guy came out, big guy, big voice, probably, I don't know, late 50s, early 60s. And she was on the sidewalk in front of the store. I was locking up the car, and he just walked out and kind of bellowed, not really saying anything, just like, it's a great day.
Yeah.
He later explained.
Yes.
But it terrified her.
Yeah.
And I just looked at him like, are you nuts?
Yeah,
Do I need to call the police?
Yeah.
And he said, why are you looking at me like that, bro? I'm like, because you just screamed at my wife. What's going on?
Yeah.
He was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to be cheerful. That's what Jesus told us to do. Love our neighbors and enjoy the day.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, screaming at Rebecca is probably not a great way to do that.
Not the way to do it.
But he never apologized, but he did introduce himself.
Yeah.
And say, I'm just trying to have a good day. And that's what Jesus wants from us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, we didn't have an argument. We didn't have a fight because he brought the Lord into that dispute.
You showed him grace also.
And I was trying to be very patient. And meanwhile, Rebecca was like, did you see me jump? I'm like, yeah. This guy was like 3 feet behind her and yelled.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you were at work with, at Ash Wednesday and folks are making negative comments?
Well, it made me, I would say, at the end of the day, yes, like, the first comment obviously makes you kind of recluse a little bit. You're like, you're taken off guard. You're like, what? Why are you? You know what Ash Wednesday is. You're an older gentleman. Like, one, I'm a female. Why are you speaking to me like that? Two, you're an older gentleman. You've been around longer than I have. You know what Ash Wednesday is. You know when people have ashes on their head. You're making the comment to make it hurtful and hateful. And that's the thing is about this world is there are hateful people. There are people that are scared of Jesus. There's people that are scared of the true faith that people have. And those individuals, I pray for them. I don't look down on them. They're a human being. They just don't understand and they don't have the faith in them yet. They have it in them. They just haven't found it. They haven't dug it out and truly loved God and Jesus for what he's done. And I look at them and I explain kindly. I speak to them kindly. And at the end of the day, like, I speak about the Christian capitalist when I'm bartending too. They ask me what I do before I come here. And I'm like, oh yeah, I work a couple other jobs before I come here.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, and I talk about it. And everybody that I do speak to that ask questions and dig in deeper, or they ask me about my cross, or they compliment my cross, they all go into about how amazing it is because of what we mentioned earlier, Gen Z needing that faith back into their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your generation and the generations before you all were faith driven, like in the household. You go to church on Sunday. It was a routine style. Now faith has developed into God is wherever you are.
Yes.
God is wherever you are. And just because there's hateful people out there doesn't mean you change your faith. Doesn't mean you recluse a minute because you're kind of taken back by someone being rude to you because you're a human being.
Right.
And we still are the social norms of life at the end of the day. But you understand, you think it in your head, you take a minute to respond and you just explain, oh, it's Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hey, did you go to church today?
And I got to tell you, my favorite, I used to, as a chaplain at the airport in Atlanta,
mm-hmm.
Ash Wednesday was a huge day.
Yes.
Because I was able to get inside security at the airport
mm-hmm.
and give ashes to folks who were traveling.
Yeah.
And time after time after time, every year, people would say something to the effect of, I'm so glad you're here
mm-hmm.
because I'm traveling today and couldn't make it to church.
Yeah.
And my response was, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here because you're thinking about Jesus and you're wanting those ashes.
You still made the point to go and understand Jesus' sacrifice during Lent.
Yes.
And being able to still go and show your faith.
Yes.
And that was something for me. When that Ash Wednesday, I was crazy busy. I was hopping all around, work. I finally had a break of a meeting. I knew the times for mass, and I was like, okay. I couldn't go to the actual full communion mass, so full mass. I had to go to a sped up one. But you know what? In my heart, I have to go do Lent. There's
Yes.
one holiday out of Catholicism in the Bible, out of everything, that I have to go do. Because I feel like in my soul, I'm like, Jesus did this. How can I not be how can I not just show a little bit of faith?
Gotta
a little bit of, what's the word? Guidelines, giving myself a little harder time, being more rigid on my decision making. He had to spare his life to be able to live longer.
Yes.
I can do that. And I love the feeling of when I do go. And it's ever since I was a child, and giving up is one of the better feelings because when you get to have it again on Sunday.
That's right. And celebrate the resurrection.
Oh, yeah. We joke around. I'm having a big bowl of French fries from all over the place. We're having sweet treats. We're having all the bad carbs that everybody gave up.
Yep.
But you know what? That's what we're supposed to do on Easter.
That's right. That's exactly right. And celebrate the resurrection and the victory over death and the grave.
Yeah.
I gave up chocolate one year, and the parishioners at my church knew it.
Yep.
And because I would talk about it in sermons. And on Easter Sunday, every person in the congregation brought a chocolate bar and put it in a basket and gave it to me after the service. Isn't that lovely?
That is amazing.
But now I lost 10, 15 pounds during that Lent that year.
Yeah.
And one of the guys looked at me holding this wicker basket full of chocolate bars. He's like, maybe we should have thought this through a little more.
Maybe we could have given you the low cal on the dark chocolate,
right. That's right. But Jess, one of my favorite things about Ash Wednesday is wearing the sign of the cross.
Yes.
Gives you the opportunity to evangelize when people ask, hey, what's that? Like in the airport, people would stop me and say, why do you have dirt on your head?
Yeah.
Because it gives you a chance to talk to folks.
Yeah.
So in the workplace, especially the college students and the young professionals, what's an appropriate way to talk to people about Jesus? Because time after time, I hear from young people, I don't know the stories. I don't know the Bible. I don't know, I've had one person ask me before, what's Christmas?
Yeah.
And when you say, well, it's Jesus' birthday, the response is, well, who's Jesus?
Yeah.
To me, that's an opportunity to tell the good news. How do you do that at work, though?
I think in my day-to-day life, I'm no master of the Bible whatsoever, but I feel God within me, and I know what I was raised with. I went to catechism. I know the stories at the end of the day, and I know the rules that we're supposed to live by when it comes to God. Now, with that being said, I bring God into conversations naturally. It kind of just rolls off my tongue, and I'm like, God bless, I'll just say that. And so if you work it into just like your day-to-day life and you unconsciously actually talk about it, it's not so much of like you're throwing my religion down my throat. Like when you are talking to your coworkers, you're not just like, oh, well, God wouldn't want you to do that. I'd be like, oh, God bless you. Like I have a coworker that's about to have a baby, and he's having 2 under 2. I mean, that's a lot. It's a mental battle. And the wife's pregnant. She's a little delayed right now. And I'm like, and we were talking about, and I'm like, oh, well, God will provide. And like, I said that. And then he was like, oh yeah, like I saw your background on LinkedIn. Like you work for the Christian Capitalist and like this, and this, and this. And like all of these different stories. And we ended up diving into what the Christian Capitalist is. And
that's great. And
also was able to talk about you are a child of God as well, having the newborn come in and him being, and then you be able to connect. I mean, for another company, I spoke to the CMO, and the CMO saw my LinkedIn and just was like, the Christian Capitalist, is that faith driven? And she brought the conversation to me.
Wow, that's great.
So I think when you physically are proud of your faith, and I think when you just bring it into natural conversations and you're not putting it in a way of like, you're looking down on them because maybe they're not faith driven, but you don't even know when you're having that conversation if they are or not. I think it's just having that open dialogue with yourself and with other people to understand, like, I am who I am. I am going to speak about God. I talk about God every day. I say it all the time. Yep. I'm like, it's hilarious, actually.
I love that.
And I'll say Jesus, I'll say God, I'll say whatever it is, because at the end of the day, every time I say it, I feel a warmness inside me because he's standing there right with me.
And exactly, he's right there with you.
He's right there with you.
Now, these are very divided times politically in our nation. And you and I have discussed this many times before. The Christian capitalist movement is green. Not blue, not red.
Yes.
Having said that, there are a lot of people these days embracing socialism.
Yes.
And finding that an economy based on distribution of wealth is attractive to them.
Yeah.
What do you say to that as a Christian capitalist and an advocate for free market enterprise?
Yeah.
What do you say about that?
Well, I think that as an individual, I'll say this. We are goal driven. I'm goal driven. I like finding successes. I like the competition also I'm in sales. I mean, I was a sports girly. I love the competition of like, my first career ever, I had this one guy, he was amazing. He's succeeding right now. If you're watching this, kudos to you. Very proud of you.
Oh, that's great.
I helped mentor, train him. And once he met my level, it was just game on. We would go back and forth every single day. With that being said, if I was succeeding, I was making more money than him. And that's the thing. So I don't want to be at the same level of everybody else. I'm working 10 times harder. Now, in the socialism environment, you go to work, you all get paid naturally the same. You all are doing the same work, but you're still doing the same work that you would be doing right now. And you're going to be assigned more projects. You want to be rewarded for those projects. If you're hitting your quota at 8 and you're going to 14, I mean, you're now in escalators as a salesperson, and you're going to walk away with $10,000 in commission. Now, do you want everybody to walk away with the $10,000 in commission?
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way, because my hard work that I do, I should be paid for the value that I'm providing to the company.
Because
it's just, oh, we're all equal. We all get paid the same. Well, Joe Blow over there is doing nothing.
Exactly. It provides an incentive to Joe over there to just be a slacker.
Just be a slacker.
So you go make your money, and then what?
And then you provide back to the world. You are graceful with the money you make. You don't showboat. You don't go and buy the flashy things. Yes, you buy something nice for yourself as a reward. I mean, I did that myself. Once I hit my goal of revenue that I wanted to bring in myself, I went and bought myself a nice, pretty much an award at the end of the day. You buy yourself a little reward, obviously, but you go back and you bring it to everybody else. You see an elderly woman that needs help. You see a person that needs lunch at the end of the day, or they're struggling and you're in line and they're like, oh, I can't pay. Pay for the $10 of lunch that they're having. Give back in some way. You see the Girl Scouts standing out there. You see the troops, the Boy Scouts standing out there to go on their little mission to go become men and learn about the wilderness and how to survive. And same with the Girl Scouts. Buy it. Provide back to the younger generations. feed them and allow them to have that drivenness and excitement that you all once experienced in your life, and be able to love thy neighbors.
Exactly. Share the blessings that God has given you.
Absolutely.
Jess, I have one question that just popped into my mind before we conclude. In Fountain Hills and in Tempe, I have seen roughly the same sign, and that is, don't give money to people who beg.
Yes.
Send them to the website for this, city.
Yes.
In Tempe, it was tempe.org.
Yeah.
Tempe.gov, whatever. And there was one over there at Arizona State, something to the effect of, don't spare change, create change.
Yeah.
Send them to the government.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think at the end of the day I think that we have twofolds of that again, because one, these individuals that are homeless, that are begging, some of them aren't out there because they've messed up in this world. They're out there because genuinely the economy is beating them. And that's the most devastating part. Now you have the people that are using the kindness of us and of us individuals that are out there hardworking, have a job, go wake up at 6 a.m. every single day to go and work. Every individual in this world, if you have no health issues, if you're physically fit, you should be working. You should be finding a job. There's many jobs out in this world for lack of experience and abundance of experience. You will be able to find a job. Now, with that being said, I don't say don't give them money. Buy them food. Give them resources, not cash, because individuals like that, they have issues and they'll utilize the money in different aspects that aren't going to benefit them in the way that we are giving the money for.
And I Jess, it's such a great point, because Jesus told us, give to those who beg, but he didn't necessarily say give them what they're begging for, right? If someone says, and I've actually had this before, somebody asked me for money for lunch. Yeah. And I said, well, I saved the half of my sandwich from lunch because I felt like I would find somebody who needed it. And he cursed me. Yeah. Man, I don't want that. I want money. I'm like, well, I guess you're not hungry, because this is what I have to give you.
Well, the thing is also what Jesus has spoke about is greed. Yeah. Greed. And the thing is these homeless people, they are having the hardest of times in this world, but they still have one goal, and they're driven by something more evil at the end of the day, alcohol, drugs, whatever it may be. But with that, they're not driven by faith. They're not grateful for what you are providing to them. They're greedy for what they want because they have selfish, intrinsic aspects that they're looking for. And so being able to, yes, thank you for cussing me out, for providing you food. I hope you live another day and God bless you. And walk away and know that you did do good, but that individual just didn't want to accept you at the end of the day. Same with when you're in the workplace and they're against your faith, or they're asking you or making fun of you. It's okay. Let them. They haven't gone on the path that you're on yet. And thank God you're on that path, because the world is tough and you need Jesus by your side.
Amen. So Jess, our signature question is, what does it mean to you to be a Christian capitalist? You're right in the heart of the movement.
I think it means to just be a truly walking with faith in Jesus every single day, and understanding that, like I've said many times today, God has a plan. And I see that in tenfolds within business, but actually just in my daily life, I've gone through turmoil before with losing family and stuff, and typically people get lost at the end of the day when you do go through those losses, and understanding that they're in the better place and God had that plan for them. They did their path out here on earth that they were supposed to do, and God said, yep. And that just gives me the faith and drivenness. So that's what a Christian capitalist is just truly being faith-driven, business-wise and personally.
I love it. What a great summary. Jess, thank you so much for joining us today. What a pleasure. It was great. Great time. Great time. And everybody, if you have enjoyed our episode today, please tag, share, and follow us on all the social media channels. Share this episode with your friends, especially those friends at work who you feel like could benefit from hearing this message. I'm Rich Sanders with The Christian Capitalist, where the more we make, the more we give.